Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video, we will have a look at what is inside the Empire starter set, which was a very anticipated starter set, especially because this is going to be the first time we have the Japanese support cruisers, which are like submersible cruisers, let's say, which are those ships, as well as some newer surface ships such as the Sakata destroyers. So let's open the box. This is going to be the first time I have Japanese miniatures. I already had some Chinese, but this is the first time we'll discover those Japanese Sprues. And yeah, very excited to see what is inside. This starter set is meant as a good entry point for any player that wants to start Dystopian Wars. And if you want to start as the Empire, this is a very good place to start because you will have like a fleet in a box. You have a lot of different stuff. You have your flagship, the Kongo. You have some cruisers, like as you can see, there is a lot of miniature. We'll have a look. And you also have all those things. You have dices, you have tokens, you have cards, movement tools, the rules themselves. Like you have so many things. So let's open this and have a look at what you actually get inside. Okay, you do have always this brilliant packaging. I just love how sleek it looks, and this is just, as always, going to be jam-packed. Yes, of course. First thing you get is this map. I will not open it in full, but it is always really nice to have this huge map of the world. It looks good, and yeah, you can see the entirety of the world setting. You can guess from this like how large it is. And today we will talk about the Empire, which is this faction. It's composed of three main factions. Like there's like 6 or 7 emperors, but in the game we mostly focus on the Chinese, which already have quite a few releases, the Japanese, which had a little bit less, but they're catching up, and then there's going to be the Koreans, which are focused more on the air powers, especially with the sky fortresses. In this starter set we will have mostly Chinese forces and Japanese forces, oh my god, and this is what we're going to have a look right now. One of the first things that you will have when you open the box is, of course, the rules. Don't deep dive inside right away. You have everything, how to play, some scenarios, description of factions. You do have a lot of stuff. Most of it is fluff, which is always nice. You get fluff for all the factions. And of course the rules. This is version 3.04, so it is the latest version of the rule for now. And you do have also lots of tokens, and one of them is missing. It's probably somewhere in the box. We'll find it soon. This allows you to check to indicate how many hull points you still have on your ships. This allows you to say that you are obscured, and there are many ways to be obscured. The yellow, red, and black allow you to check at which level of disorder your ship actually is. And then the blue one just allows you to say like, okay, this ship has a blue token because it has already activated this turn. We have dices as well. Those dices are proprietary dices for the dystopian age, and it might look a little bit difficult to play with, but it's actually not. Like, you learn extremely fast how it works, and you gain so much time once you know how to use it. You also have those dices, which are critical dices. It allows you to understand like which critical you get or which you inflict on your opponent. Some SRS token bases, depending, like this allows you to put some aircraft on this, or some submarines, depending on what you can send in a distance. You also have those victory and valor cards. You can play without, but they're a very important part of the game because those allow you to gain some additional points on top of what you could do from the mission. And the valor cards allow you to trigger some very powerful abilities. So here, for example, you gain +1 speed to your ship, but you can also burn a valor card to give some specific bonuses depending on your ship. Some ships have unique valor effects, and some ships give you more cards, etc. So it's actually quite important, and it's not that complicated at all, actually, but it adds this little resource management aspect of the game, which is really nice. You also get the flagship for your box, and this is going to be the only resin ship for the whole box. And this ship is the Kongo heavy battleship. And as we can see, it looks brilliant. I love this design. It looks very tough, and it is very tough. Like, I think it's one of the rare ships to have Citadel 17, if I'm not mistaken. And it has an integrated shroud generator. So damn, this thing is going to be tough. We can see that the resin looks really good. A little bit of flash that I see here, but that is going to be extremely easy to clean, like if it's just this. And yeah, just a good resin, as we can see from closer up. Looking sharp. One important thing to say about the Kongo is that it used to be that it was a generic ship, yes, and you wanted usually just one of those, but now there is a named version of the Kongo, which is called the Oni, and it's really, really interesting. Like, it's kind of like a ghost ship. It can teleport left and right, and it's a very different way to play the Kongo. And it also means that if you already have a Kongo, you can buy this starter set without being upset at having a second heavy battleship, because you can really play two Kongos on the table and have one generic one and one being the Oni, and this is going to work really well together. And if you are a new player, you can get the starter set twice, and that is going to be a very, very good Japanese fleet that you will get right there. Okay, so what do we have here? First of all, we have this token, and okay, I think we start straight up with the submarines. Yes, we do. Okay, so this is the newest support sprue, or I don't know, I'm not sure how they call it, submersible sprues for the Japanese. And yeah, you can see that it looks very interesting. You have those, it's not really SI, it's like escort tokens. They look bigger than in my memories. I thought they were a little bit smaller, or maybe it's just in my mind. I will take those that I have and compare them. And yeah, you can build those submarines as we have seen. The interesting things about the Japanese is that they have so many variations for their ships. I think they have like 8 variations for their surface cruiser and 6 variants for their submersible cruisers, and you only get 2 surface and 2 submersibles in this box. So it really, if you buy the starter set twice, you really will not regret it, because you have so many options, and many of those are complementary and work really well. You can build a submarine with this thing, and it's going to be very good at just ramming your opponent, or you can give him these tentacles, and then the enemy ship will maybe take less damage, but it will lose so much in mobility. And of course, you can, if I find it, you can also make them submersible carriers. Okay, this is probably what you will put on your submarine somewhere to say it is a small exo-sub carrier, and then you have these. Kind of like SRS token. It's not really an SRS token, but it's like a, yeah, let's call it an SRS token, a special SRS token. And yeah, those are the exo subs, and they look very nice actually. And yeah, the forward pointy end towards the enemy. I remember someone was asking the question. And yeah, just a very, very nice carrier. You also have some rockets if you want to make some more artillery ships. And yeah, lots of options that we can see here. Some smaller gun batteries as well, because yeah, the smaller gun batteries are probably for the Sakata destroyers that we've seen. Yeah, here they are. We can see the base here, and probably this is what you put under. Indeed, the Sakatas are going to be the equivalent of the Excalibur of the Crowns, which is like tougher than frigates, but still mass ones, and more firepower, much more lethal, but technically a little bit more fragile per point. Still very good entry, plus all the SRS tokens. This is a very, very good sprue. You should get a second one right here. Yes, you do. With everything that we have been talking about. And before we go to the Frontline sprues, actually, I wanted to check, and yes, indeed, it is not the same little escort token here, and I should have guessed, because this was a resin one, this small one, that came with the box for those. And yeah, it's like the big daddy, as you can see there. Oh my god, let's not break it, it's actually magnetized. And we can see that it has this one, some smaller subs directly inside, And yeah, we have those now in plastic, which is quite nice. They're quite more mobile. We can see there is some hole in the middle, which we didn't really have with this one, and I really enjoy those. Okay, now that we have seen this, let's have a look at the support sprue, which the Empire players already know quite good, but there should be the newest updated small gun battery, like somewhere. We can see that there is this little gun battery here. And was it here or was it on the other sprue? Let's have a good look. We still have those rockets here, some more of those. Okay, those really, okay, sorry to insist on this, but those, okay, looks really like this, except this one is in plastic and this one was in resin, but okay. Those are like the frontline squids, and the other one were the support ones. You will need to have the eye to see the difference. And yeah, I don't actually see the updated like artillery mortar. I thought it was going to be here somewhere. This is in this frontline sprue, you have all the generators that you might need, including, where is the magma caster? There's supposed to be a specific one for the Empire. Maybe I'm just getting crazy and I missed it on the previous sprue. Let's have a look. That would not be the first time, and yes, I absolutely missed it. Here it is. This is the magma caster generator, which is quite important one for the Empire as a whole, not only for the Japanese. And yeah, good to have it here. It is going to be very useful. Now let's switch back to the frontline sprues, and yeah, those ships look so sleek, and as we said, there are just so many options. For example, here, if you put this at the back of your ship, it becomes a little aircraft carrier, kind of like, not many capacity, but it does. If you put this, it can repair and boost the little squids that are around, and it will give them more attacks and stuff. And if you put this, it becomes like just a normal ship. This is actually the front of the ship, but yeah, just to say, like, there is a lot of different variants. We can see another one right here, and the turrets just look so good. Like, if you have a look at it, these being the larger turrets, and you have so many of these small gun batteries, which actually look good, like, which is not the easiest thing to do, as we've seen with the crown ones. Like, this sprue is just packed. As you can see, there are so many options, and yeah, there's so many things to choose from. If you are hit by decision paralysis with all these options, and honestly, like, let's say, who could blame you, we're gonna make a how to start Empire starter set pack, saying like what to build depending on how you want to play the game. And yeah, this is really like the box for which you need a what to build video, and to understand what are your options before you start building. Of course, if you can magnetize, it's always the better options, but if you cannot, then it's good to know what you're going for. And all the way at the bottom, you get these movement tools, allowing you to check for movement, to turns, the distances, everything you need is right here. So as we have seen, some very good sprues of plastic here, and you really have a lot for your money. I mean, this costs barely more than some of the normal battle fleets, and you do have so much between the cards, the tokens, the dices, like all the miniatures of plastic, of resin, the map, the SRS tokens. You have so many things in this single box. Like, honestly, the Empire is one of the starter sets where I would say it's absolutely worth it to buy it twice. It's probably the number one for faction for which you want two starter sets, because you just have so many options, and both versions of the Kongo as a frontline or as a ghost ship are really efficient. So yeah, an amazing box. If you want, if you were wishing to start with Dystopian Wars and you are interested with the Empire, this is an extremely good place to start. And if you wanted to play Japanese, this is for sure the number one stop. Like, buy this box and buy multiples of it. If you want another faction, all the factions of Dystopian Wars are going to get their own starter sets, and we'll cover most of those in unboxing and at least in what to build videos. And yeah, so expect to see some Japanese ships on the tables of Love and War Games very soon. Hope you enjoyed this video and you found it informative. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps to get these videos seen by more people and to hopefully get more people into this Dystopian Wars community. Also, let us know in the comments what you think of all of this box. Like, there is a lot of things to digest, all these new submarines, all this packaging, like the new map, and of course the updated Sprues. A lot of good stuff right here. And if you did enjoy and you are not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. That also really helps. Hope you enjoyed and take care of yourself. And until the next video, remember to keep spreading the love all around you. Bye.